John, the final here, expecting another packed house tonight as the Dodgers and Giants play game one of this quick two-game series. The Dodgers winning the first four matchups between the teams this season. Giants winning the last three, and that three-game streak over the Dodgers in this park set the Giants skyrocketing 50-27, the best record in baseball. The two best records in the National League going head-to-head tonight. Welcome inside. Hope your week's off to a great start. Joe Davis and Oral Hershiser. And anytime the Dodgers and Giants get together, it's exciting and it's a good atmosphere. But the stakes raise a little bit here when you look at the standings.
Yeah, you look at the standings, the Dodgers want to cut it to about 1.5 after these two wins if they can do that. And you know what was really important in that Cubs series for them to win the last three games, come into this series with a little momentum.
It was rock bottom last Thursday, right? They get swept in San Diego. They come home and they get no hit by the Cubs, but they've come to life with a three-game winning streak since.
Yeah, and the offense has come to life, and this is the key because they're getting solid pitching throughout the year from the starters in the bullpen, and the home run ball really came alive. Everybody remembers McKinstry's home run or grand slam, but Bellinger has a couple, looking for his third in a row today as far as days, and this offense, when they get it going, they can carry the pitching staff.
It's a really good setup of pitching matchups in the two games in this series. Tomorrow you're going to have Buehler and Gausman. Can't wait for that, but tonight's not too bad either. It's DeSclafani for the Giants. Has been good against everybody besides the Dodgers. Trevor Bauer goes for LA.
Yeah, and Trevor has been outstanding at the beginning of the year. He's looking to get back on a streak right now. The last 4 out of 5, he's given up 3 earned runs or more. But this fastball that he's thrown, that four-seamer, well, the Giants are number 1 in average and slug against that, but he had a lot of success with the fastball against them, and he'll throw a few more sliders. DeSclafani on the other side, he's going to throw the Dodgers a lot of sliders. Has dominated right-handed hitters. Our lefties, I think, are going to need to come through tonight. He has a bad memory with the Dodgers, but he has been on a better roll since.
Now those 10 earned runs that he gave up on May 23rd in San Francisco, a career high for DeSclafani. You toss that one out, this guy might be an all-star. Dodgers and Giants doing it again with the highest combined winning percentages they've had when meeting up in a season since 1962. First pitch coming up.
Welcome back to Dodger Stadium in the NL West standings. The Dodgers are 3.5 games behind the Giants. So, of course, yes, there's rivalry baseball going on. But this two-game series, when I spoke to Dave Roberts, said this is important because not only will this close the gap, but it's important for this team to kind of step up, get these wins. When I talked to Chris Taylor about kind of what's going on here, I asked him if he's surprised to be chasing the Giants right now. He said, for right now, it's not too much of it's more of a surprise because they expect to be better. They expect to lead the division, and that is something that this team as an overall feels. It's a shared sentiment for them to be playing at the top of the NL West always. Back to you guys.
All right, Kirsten, 47-31 right now, 3.5 back of the Giants, who are a major league best 50-27. And the lineup that they'll send up there tonight looks like this, with Lamont Wade Jr. to lead it off, and then Mike Yastrzemski in right hitting second. Buster Posey having a career year. The catcher hits third, followed by the left fielder Alex Dickerson. At shortstop, Brandon Crawford. Wilmer Flores is at third. Center fielder Steven Duggar bats seventh. Donovan Solano at second, hitting eighth, and Anthony DeSclafani rounds it out of the 9th spot. Trevor Bauer in his last start gave up 3 runs on 3 solo home runs and has now allowed 17 of them this year. That's the second most in the National League, and extra worth talking about because he's facing the lineup that leads the majors in home runs.
Yeah, and 65% of his runs that he's given up this year are on home runs. But lately, I would say the Achilles heel has been not only the home run, but the loss of command at times and the walk. So that builds his pitch count. It gives the other team some hope. I think for him to get back to his dominance, it's get ahead, put people away, and it'll be very interesting tonight. What is his plan? Is he going to stick with the four-seam fastball, which the Giants hit really well, but not his? Or is he going to go to more of the off-speed stuff? Because we've seen the changeup come more and more into play.
Well, as far as the fastball goes, yeah, the Giants are the best fastball hitting team in the National League, but went 1 for 17 against it. as Bauer struck out a season-high 11 back on May 21st. Wade stands in, Bauer comes home, and off we go with a fastball that just misses, according to Angel Hernandez. Ball one.
You know, Joe, the best pitchers, they'll read the scouting report and they see, oh, best fastball hitting club, but they'll say, not my fastball.
The 1-0 pitch almost hit him, ball two. The league hitting just 156 against Trevor Bauer's fastball. More and more two-seam lately. And we're talking about those numbers. That includes both pitches, two-seam and the four-seam. That's a shot into right and a leadoff base hit for Wade. That's over to cut it off. And Wade, who's been back and forth between AAA and the majors this year, leads this game off with a single.
He does pick out on a fastball. They're trying to go low and away. It's a little bit more low and outer half, slightly up, and he does a nice job beating the shift, which pretty much you've got to hit in the air, and that hard.
Wade aboard and Yastrzemski at the plate. Strike one. For the Dodgers won the first 4 meetings against the Giants this year, but then the Giants at that home run robbery from Mike Tauchman and Albert Pujols. It looked like it was going to be a walk-off home run, give the Dodgers their 5th straight win over the Giants. And the Giants won the next 2 as well. Beginning with that home run robbery, San Francisco's won 20 of 27. And the first team in the majors to reach 50 wins. Bauer home with an 0-2. That is popped up. First changeup that he's thrown. Lux runs under it and makes the catch. Oh, the shift on with the left-handed hitter. He had a long way to go, but he gets there.
You don't think of infielders having to run good routes, but on this, when you only have 1 step to spare, you do have to run a good route, and he did not serpentine around. He just went straight right for the spot.
A runner at first, 1 gone, and Buster Posey, who's having a career year. It is no longer, quote unquote, his best start. It is a career year going. He's 4th in the league in average. He's 5th in the league in OPS. Well, the average not quite where it was during the 2012 batting title MVP season, but the on base, the slugging, put those together. He's at a spot he's not been in.
You get to really see how banged up he probably was playing. And all of a sudden, when he's this healthy and this strong in his lower half, all the talent comes to the top again.
The hip had been bothering him for a while. He had surgery in 2018. Not himself a year removed from that, 2019. And then, of course, opted out of last year. And while he was away, got more flexible, strengthened his core, strengthened that lower half. And what a season he's having as a 34-year-old here in his 12th big league year. That's been one of the big stories for these surprising Giants. The veterans having resurgences. Not just Posey, but Crawford. Belt when he's been healthy. Longoria when he wasn't on the IL. That's fouled in 1-2. It's the number 2 offense in the league. Just behind the Dodgers in runs per game. And especially good lately. Scoring 7 runs per game over the last 2 weeks.
They have ridden the home run very well this year. Their power has really gone up.
It's a good combo of power and patience. Lead the majors in homers. They're 2nd in the league in walk rate. Strike 3 called. Angel Hernandez goes a foot off of the plate to ring out Posey.
Plate's a little wider on this pitch. Started on the corner and ended up, what, 6-8 inches off at least.
Buster gave him the really?
Yeah.
Look. And then, okay, I'll remember that for my guy. 2 out, the hitter's Dickerson. There's ball 1. Alex Dickerson was one of the Giants' top offensive players his first 2 years with them. Came over in a trade from San Diego in 2019, but he's dealt with injuries this year, and the numbers not close to what they were. OPS down 200 points. It's rifled foul, and it's 1-1. That's up the middle. Backhand Turner, who shifted over there. And after the leadoff single, Bauer sits him down in order. The Dodgers come to bat against Anthony DeSclafani here in Game 1 against San Francisco. When you come back. So let's take a look at the lineup for tonight with Mookie Betts to lead it off. Then Max Muncy, who has terrorized the Giants, hitting second, starting at first. Turner's riding an 8-game hitting streak. The third baseman bats third. Bellinger back-to-back games with home runs, with Will Smith catching. Chris Taylor at second. Lux at short, and A.J. Pollock in left. On the mound for the Giants, Anthony DeSclafani, who, I mean, he's been an all-star outside of the 10 runs that he gave up against the Dodgers on May 23rd. You get rid of that, he's got a 1.80 ERA, including in this month of June. He's 4-0 with a 1 ERA. Ball 1 on Mookie Betts.
That was the 4-seamer right there he threw to Mookie, but he's also got the 2-seamer, which is very effective. And the sliders is really his out pitch.
And the fastball is what the Dodgers feasted on. Dodgers hitting .474 against DeSclafani's fastball. Against everybody else, it's below 200. That is driven deep left center field. Mookie Betts, a leadoff home run.
He's hit 172, but he's had 8 walks. Well, with this swing, maybe he's coming back and getting hot, but it is a walk. It's a walk around the bases when you hit it this far. And boy, could the Dodgers use that shot in the arm. Going into the big series, your first hitter does that.
Number 10 of the year for Betts. And now Muncy takes the ball. Out of his 10 home runs, 4 of them have led off the game. Ball and a strike on Muncy. The continuation of what the Dodgers have done so far in this winning streak. 13 of their 17 runs now have come off homers. Now Muncy rips one down the line, but foul. The Land Rover Performance Spotlight. We mentioned it during lineups, but Muncy has feasted on Giants pitching. 9 home runs against the Giants since the beginning of last year. That includes 5 of them in 7 games this year. 1 of them against DeSclafani.
It's not been a high average, but it has been damaged with extra base hits, especially breaking their heart with the home run ball.
For Giants fans, he's kind of become the new guy that's popular to hate. He hits one a ton. Forget about it. Muncy to the Giants again. Back-to-back home runs to open the series against the Giants. That one traveled 424 feet.
This is when the Dodgers get hot, when they don't miss the mistakes. When they're fouling those back and getting their walks, that's fine for an offense. But when they get balls in the middle of the plate like Betts and now Muncy and punish it, that's when this offense really comes alive.
That was with 2 strikes. Ball 1 on Turner.
It's a really good 2-strike approach, Joe.
So Muncy's 6th in 8 games against San Francisco this year. And his team leading 16th overall. 2-0 on Turner. He hits one in the air to center field, but off the end of the bat. Out goes Solano. He's got it for the first out. Betts and Muncy back-to-back home runs to open the game. And DeSclafani's nightmares again are blue as Bellinger stands in. This is the ballpark where Anthony DeSclafani made his big league debut in 2014 when he was with the Marlins. He won that game, but is 0-6 with an ERA of 7 against the Dodgers since. His first one to Bellinger is a strike. I know you talk about it. There are just some teams' colors and some jerseys that stir something, sometimes good, other times, and in this case, bad when you see it.
There is, you know, rivalries are fun, and you really start to feel it. Okay, they're on the schedule and they're coming in town, your rivalry guys. But you really feel it when you get to the ballpark, and you can feel the passion coming from the stands, from the fans in BP, even a little before that, as you're coming to the park. And so, yeah, the players love this. The players love the stimulus.
Except for Anthony DeSclafani.
Well, for Anthony DeSclafani, I was thinking of the positive side of that part for the Dodgers.
He gets right. Bellinger here, 2 out.
You know, what flashed in my head after Muncy hit his home run was what's going on the bench right now is enjoy first place while you have it, San Francisco, but here we come. And that's what kind of the locker room feel would be right now, is a motivational kind of pump up in the locker room on the bench. When you go back-to-back like that in this game, that's what they're feeling down there.
Looking for their 4th consecutive win, looking to shave the deficit in the division down to 2.5. Will Smith grounds the first one gently to third. Flores there. He throws him out. And that ends the inning. But back-to-back home runs, Mookie Betts and Max Muncy to start the day. Anthony DeSclafani's given up 10 home runs total this year, 4 of them against the Dodgers. 2-0 after 1.
Lexus Steelers, no home runs. That's because when the Giants hit them, when they don't hit them, they're 9-9. When they do hit them, they are very good. 41-18 slider them. That's what Trevor Bauer got his strikeout in the first. They don't hit the slider very well and strike early. Well, I guess they did that with back-to-back home runs to start their offensive side of the game.
So a 2-0 lead early. And Trevor Bauer to face Brandon Crawford to open this second. Slider. Strike one. Crawford, one of those veterans, having a great season. His career high home runs for a year is 21. Already with 16, which is good for 8th in the league. A curve is lofted to right, sending Betts back a few steps, but no big deal. And Crawford is out number 1. Telecast powered by Google Cloud. Taking a look at what Trevor Bauer brings.
Largest percentage is the hard stuff between the four-seamer, the cutter, and the sinker. But you just saw his first curveball of the game to Crawford. He's going to probably throw some more sliders, but don't think he's going to shy away from the four-seamer. He threw 4 of them in the first inning. Only 1 was a strike so far.
And for good reason. He stuck with that four-seam more than he'd thrown in any other start this year when he saw the Giants back in May. As they went 1 for 17 against fastballs. Ball 1 on Wilmer Flores. Chopped along third and past Turner, who is playing in the hole. A one-out single for Flores.
Number 6, Stephen Duncan.
When you find a big hole, which they have for him down the line through an off-speed pitch, got him to roll over it. But Justin Turner is well off the third base line, and you see even a three-hopper hit like that, that's going to be a hit even if he gets a glove on it. You're not going to throw him out at first.
Runner at first, one gone. Here's Steven Duggar, who started to heat up when the Dodgers saw the Giants in late May, and he has kept on going. Somebody who went from a guy they hope would be a long-term fix in the outfield, highly regarded prospect, and played decently well his first couple seasons, but had shoulder surgeries and back-to-back years. Most of last year at the alternate site, and it kind of looked like he may never make it back into the significant rotation. But he went from that guy to a guy that over the last month plus is hitting .363 and is in the top 10 in the league if he qualified. Didn't quite have enough at-bats, but if he qualified, he'd be top 10 in the league in average, on base, slugging. 27-year-old Steven Duggar watches a change miss, ball 2. So first 3 years, you put all those together, he was in the bottom 5 in the National League in on base and in OPS. This year, 8th in on base, 6th in OPS. After spending most of the first month at the alternate site, really just trying to focus on, he says, the things he can control and not being so hard on himself. Back foot slider gets a swing and a miss, 2-2.
You know you got a strong lineup when this guy's hitting 7th. And the Giants right on the heels of the Dodgers as far as runs per game.
Made big improvements offensively last year, but prior to that, 3 straight years where they finished second to last in the National League. Second year for 3 young hitting coaches they have. You see more and more teams adopting more of a hitting staff than just one hitting coach.
BP, they had the curveball machine set up for the right-handed slider and curveball, and they also had a live arm out there. They had them right next to each other, that depending on what the hitters would want. Batting practice is definitely getting more sophisticated every year. There's people trying to mimic the types of pitches they might see that night, or maybe pitches that they've been struggling with as a team. Dodgers will get the curveball machine out, every once in a while when they think they're going to either face a good one or are struggling with it.
Flores at first, one gone. 7 pitch to Steven Duggar. Got him with a changeup. So the updated changeup scoreboard. Trevor Bauer 7 strikeouts on the change. Walker Buehler 3.
This challenge between those two gets advertised. Hitters around the league are going to have to start sitting on the changeup with 2 strikes if it comes down to the last few starts.
Bauer had hardly thrown that at all prior to the last couple starts, but that's the 22nd time he's thrown it in the last 2+ times out there. Dodger pitchers strike out 10 tonight. Everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. 2 gone. Donovan Solano takes ball 1. Solano in his first year with the Giants, 2019, hit .330, then hit .326 last year, and has been more like that guy the last couple weeks after a rough start. Ahead 2-0. Solano also missed a month with a calf injury. That was some bad luck early on. One of the best line drive hitters in the National League. Doesn't hit it particularly hard, but he hits it on a line, and It's paid off for him. 3-0.
Like all hitters, Solano is really good when you get behind him, and he's one of the exceptional ones where it really is a huge boost as far as his production when he's ahead.
He is here. Takes the walk. That's something he touched on with Trevor Bauer. Yeah, the home run's concerning, but he also had a season-high 4 walks his last time, and those numbers have gone up over the last month or so.
Pitcher number 26, Anthony DiStefano.
I wouldn't be surprised if the numbers on walks go up around the whole league for a little while as they get adjusted to how they're going to grip the baseball and how it feels in their hands. Getting used to only sweat and rosin.
DeSclafani 1 for 27 at the plate this year. So it's 5 straight balls.
You don't like the way he's throwing the baseball, but the situation, he's done well in this situation throughout the whole year. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. The league's hitting .065 off of him.
After 5 straight balls, gets a chase. 4-1.
And that shows you how long that ball was a strike. That was one of the deepest and sharpest sliders he's thrown as far as the late break.
It's a pitch that he designed before his breakout 2018 season. All started with a conversation with his dad. They chatted for hours about the physics of how to make it spin and how to optimize the pitch. And they went into the lab and created it. First and second, 2 gone in a 2-0 game. Bauer to DeSclafani with a 1-2 pitch. He struck him out with the slider to finish the inning. Middle 2-0. World Champion Dodger Baseball on Spectrum Sportsnet LA is brought to you by the SoCal BMW Centers. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. And by Jack in the Box. Our $6.99 triple bacon cheesy jack combo is here, only at Jack in the Box. Looking at a beautiful night on our T-Mobile coverage cam. First pitch temperature of 75 degrees after a pretty hot afternoon. The temperature in the 90s. Supposed to be a little more comfortable in the next week or two, down into the 80s for high temperatures. Back-to-back home runs to start the day for the Dodgers from Betts and Muncy against Anthony DeSclafani, who has generated some all-star buzz, and for good reason, here in his first year with the Giants. Signed a 1-year, $6 million deal, and Farhan Zaidi, a master in putting together this rotation on a few 1-year contracts. That includes the one that he brought Kevin Gausman back on. And Gausman, if it wasn't for Jacob deGrom, probably a shoo-in to start the All-Star game for the NL. And still may. deGrom's actually lined up to pitch the day before the All-Star break. Strike 1 on Chris Taylor.
Alex Wood got off to a really hot start for him. Johnny Cueto throwing the ball just okay, but solid. And this rotation really improved. Almost like a 1.5 down from where they were last year.
They were 20th in the majors last year. Well, the rotation was their 3rd this year. It's the best rotation ERA the Giants have had since 1969. Wood, DeSclafani, and Aaron Sanchez all on 1-year contracts. Gausman is included in that. You look at it as the qualifying offer, even though they brought him back. 4 1-year deals. And then Johnny Cueto. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Taylor. dealing with some injury issues right now. Logan Webb is on the injured list with a shoulder issue. Sanchez has been on the IL for a while. So they've got a rookie, Sammy Long, rounding out the rotation right now. DeSclafani to Taylor, 1-2. Very high ball 2. Taylor top 10 in on base, 3rd in runs. Not been quite as good the last few weeks. He's hitting just .224 over his last 20 games. Body of work, though, still stellar. On a 2-2. Pops it up, down the line. Yastrzemski. 1 out.
Chris gave himself a chance there. When he does slump a little bit like now, it's the strikeout bug that kind of gets him. We'll put that one in play.
One gone in the second inning as Gavin Lux stands in. Snapped an 0 for 19 with a base hit yesterday. Also had a really impressive walk ahead of the McKinstry Grand Slam where he fell behind Elzalai 0-2 and battled back to earn the free pass. So even as he's going through the stretch where he's 0 for 19, he was still getting on with a bunch of walks. Hit a grand slam against DeSclafani earlier this season. Smacks a bounce to Crawford. 2 out.
On Friday, July 9th, when the Dodgers host the Diamondbacks, day after the game for Friday Night Fireworks presented by 76. You can also experience those in another great viewing area, the fireworks from the newly designed Center Field Plaza. For tickets, go to Dodgers.com/promotions.
A.J. Pollock, who had the swing that in a lot of ways ignited this 3-game winning streak, the tie-breaking home run in the 8th inning last Friday night. No balls, 1 strike.
It would be nice to see some of his power come back. To really look like he did last year. He's been solid, but there's been a little less pop. He's got the kind of strength that can carry the team with his bat, with his power, drive himself in, and anybody who's on base.
The average in the on base pretty much the same as they were last year, but his slugging is way down. He was 3rd in the league in homers, 16 in the short season, which was just 5 short of his full season high.
DeSclafani trying to go after his Achilles heel right there. That breaking ball that looks like a strike either ends up low or ends up wide. See if he sticks with it with a 1-2 count.
Here he comes. Goes up with a fastball to strike him out. And after the rough first inning, he goes 1, 2, 3 on 11 pitches. All right, Junior Dodger of the game. Aubriana from Banning. Her favorite player is Justin Turner. You can join Junior Dodgers for a chance to be the Junior Dodger of the game at Dodgers.com/JRDodgers. Justin Turner quietly having a really, really good year. Top 10 in the league in average, top 10 in OPS. Over the last month, not only is he hitting .333, but he's got an OPS of 1,000.
He's on the All-Star ballot as one of the final 3, and even if he doesn't get in through that vote, I could see him getting named in an at-large bid. Dave Roberts is going to have some tough decisions, and he'll be part of the committee, I'm sure, that'll help select that team. Skipper's been through it before, though.
You, of course, manage your league's team after you win the pennant the prior year, so this will be the 3rd time for Dave Roberts as the manager of the National League club. Works out well for the Dodgers this year in that they All-Star games in Colorado. And they open the second half in Colorado. So for the staff and any of the players that make it, easy transition.
I could see a lot of people's families actually making that trip over there for the All-Star festivities if you're on the team or on the staff, and then continuing on that road trip.
And by continuing on, you mean just hanging out in Denver.
Extend your hotel. Scott Akasaki, please.
Yeah. Second time through the lineup. Lamont Wade takes ball one from Bauer. That's a 3-game trip to start the second half. They come back home after that. Two and 0 on Wade, who started the game with a single. 27 years old, first year with the Giants. Another one of those players that Farhan Zaidi found on the margins, and has been a very important piece with all the injuries they've dealt with. Brandon Belt on the IL with a knee injury right now. Darren Ruff had injured list time with a hamstring injury, so that's opened the door for Lamont Wade. Splitting time between first and the outfield. On this 2-1, Wade hits a high fly ball, back spinning deep to right. Betts measuring it up. He's at the wall with a leap. It's gone. Lamont Wade with his 6th home run in 30 games for the Giants. His career high as a minor leaguer was 11, and he's got 6 in 30 games here this season.
Trevor Bauer finally gives up a hit with this changeup, and you can see he's got him out front, but the height of it matters also. And since it's up, not only gives it easier to get in the air, but you can still have enough swing to reach it. I'm glad Mookie didn't get hurt on the way down, catching the padding there from the video board.
Strike one on Yastrzemski. And it is again the long ball to bite Trevor Bauer.
You mentioned those 3 solo shots in Trevor Bauer's last outing, and this one a solo shot. It is really hard to string a bunch of hits against him. So yeah, teams are almost in the all or nothing mode against him.
And that, generally speaking, can be said across baseball right now. You know, this recent era of a lot of strikeouts, low batting averages, and a lot of home runs. That is how teams score the runs, but even relative to the current game, this is extreme.
Giants were 0 for 6 going into that changeup that ended up being a home run on all of Trevor's off-speed stuff.
A little bit inside 2-2. It's a Giants team, all that we mentioned earlier, leading the majors in homers. What a turnaround it is for them. 5 consecutive seasons in the bottom 5 in baseball in home runs. Improved last year. They were 12th. Tied for the major league lead this year. On a 2-2 from Bauer. Yastrzemski with a warm burner to the right side. Race to the bag. Bauer in time. And in pain.
He got stepped on a little bit. We'll see how much in the replay. Max is asking him, are you okay? Dave Roberts is going to come out and check on him. See if we can take a look at where he gets just on the outside of his right foot.
That's a nice play by both guys there.
Yep. It's something that's not practiced very often, but that was well done. Trevor Bauer kind of slowed his stride down to know he really had to stabilize his eyes when he got around the bag compared to just an underhand toss from 10 feet or so. And that's why he looked like he was late. He wasn't late. He was lining his feet up and stabilizing his eyes.
One away. Here's Posey. Strike one and a fastball. Posey struck out looking his first time in a pitch that was clearly outside. One ball, one strike. And the former All-American shortstop at Florida State. Shortstop and a closer. Good slider, 1-2. Team needed a catcher. Mike Martin, the longtime head coach there, thought that his leadership ability would play well at catcher. So they gave him a shot and said after 3 or 4 pitches, dude looked like he'd been doing it his whole life. Goes the other way. That is a fair ball. And another extra base hit in this monster of a season for Buster Posey. It's a 1-out double, and the tying run is in scoring position.
This might continue all year. The Giants have been very diligent with their workload with Buster Posey. So what you're seeing in all the production is not coming with a full season. It's about 2 days on, 1 day off. Dodgers might not see him tomorrow because he played yesterday.
And he's been dealing with a little bit of back stiffness lately. Missed the first 2 games this previous weekend. So the tying run at second. Alex Dickerson, the hitter. He takes ball 1 on a curve. One ball, one strike. Well, Dickerson's been better lately. That includes a game last week where he became the first hitter to have 3 hits in a game against Shohei Ohtani. Joked with his dad afterwards that, hey, if it doesn't work out here in the big leagues, I can just send that on my resume to Japan and probably get a job there just on that. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You are so right about that.
Tell me about the player. Well, he got 3 knocks in a game against Ohtani one time.
Done.
You don't care what position? No.
Just show me those 3 at-bats.
1-2 pitch. Curve falls over the outside corner to ring him up. The 4th for Bauer. 2 gone in the 3rd.
Hit off him in the 1st, and then he gets a pop-up. Hit off him in the 2nd, then he gets a K. Hit off him in the 3rd. He gets a K. Good response. Hard to string things against this guy.
Doing it differently than he did against the Giants last time. He's only thrown 9 fastballs, and the Giants are 2 for 2 against it. Crawford, the hitter.
Heavy on the cutter use today, which is kind of a reclamation project in some ways.
First pitch swinging. Grounds a cutter to Taylor, and that's the inning. But a leadoff home run from Lamont Wade has the Giants on the board. 2-1 after 2.5. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Carl's Jr. Grab the new BLT Ranch sandwiches at Carl's Jr. and feed your happy. On 3 solo home runs, 2-1 game as we go to the bottom of the 3rd. That's some athletic camera work there. Backing up a stairwell, or was that an escalator?
Escalator.
Life hack.
Yeah. That was very stable.
Anthony DeSclafani to face 9-1-2. Back-to-back home runs to open the game, but he's retired 6 in a row since. His first one to Trevor Bauer is outside, ball 1. 1-1. One and two.
If this game stays close, Joe, this is where the Dodger dominance has kind of gone from last year to this year is one-run games. They're 10-14 in one-run games. The close games they're not really getting completely over the top on like they did last year. They're 1-7 in extra innings. So they're so close to really becoming dominant again, and I think we're going to see more of that as they continue to get healthy.
Power down swinging. Third strikeout for DeSclafani. One gone in the third inning. And it certainly wouldn't hurt to see more things like we saw from Mookie Betts to start this game. His 10th home run of the season. Made it 1-0 just like that. Muncy followed it with a home run of his own.
Both these guys picked on the hard stuff, a four-seamer and a two-seamer. So it'll be interesting to see what DeSclafani goes second time around after you have those home runs in your memory.
Well, as challenging of a year as it's been for Betts overall relative to what you're used to from him, he's one of 4 players in the majors with 30 extra base hits and 40 walks. And you hear then you say, well, that's a meaningless bit of trivia. But then you see who the other 3 guys are. Ronald Acuna, Carlos Correa, and Vlad Guerrero Jr. Takes high, it's 1-1. 30 extra base hits, 40 walks.
Mostly built on those doubles. You know, he pulls that line drive down the left field line, and then he also finds that left center and right center gaps every once in a while.
Laid on a fastball there, 1-2. Two and two.
For Mookie to get up to his standards again, it's in at bats like this and the rest of this game. It's multi-hit games, and it's multi-hit games in back-to-back days. And that's where all of a sudden his average will really start to escalate where he's used to having it.
On a 2-2 from DeSclafani, Betts watches ball 3. And he's worked the count full.
He definitely worked him away. You got to believe Mookie's going to be looking out there. They're coming in.
With the 3-2, Betts takes ball 4. So he's got one of both of those things tonight. An extra base hit and now a walk. First one issued by DeSclafani.
Away, away, away. You see Mookie has to get out of the way of this because he is thinking on the outer half. It's a pretty easy take when you're getting yourself that close to that pitch. It's half good eye and half self-preservation.
That's aboard. Muncy up. Hit his 6th home run in 8 games against the Giants this year, his first time up. No balls, 1 strike.
We'll talk about hitters looking hitterish. Mookie Betts looks runnerish. He's really taking an aggressive lead. He's really locked in when he leans in to check out DeSclafani. This has some intent in it. That's a big lead.
Big rip, 0-2. Mookie, by the way, 7 stolen bases this season in 10 tries. Throughout his career, one of the highest success rates in the league. Once he homered with 2 strikes his first time on an 0-2 pitch here. He takes ball 1. Stays at 1-2, and we look back at the home run we're talking about on StatCast presented by Google.
This ball was crushed. Look how far up the pavilion it goes. I don't think the people up there were expecting to get a souvenir in the air.
Yeah.
Maybe one hop from the 3rd row.
That's off to another good lead. The perfect lead.
Yeah, he is the full dive away from that base. With his reaction time to DeSclafani either going home or going back to first.
The 1-2 again in the dirt, backhanded by Posey. Thought about gunning down there, making him think.
So if you're the pitcher that's trying to pick off Mookie Betts, the perfect time, if you can notice in the corner of your eye, is when he's out there as far as he can, and then when he goes to get the one last step. If you can get it as he's raising that leg up, it takes a little moment to then get it down. So see how he has his feet narrow right now? You'd be looking there. Right as that foot goes in the air, that right foot, that's when you go over.
Because he got that split second of time before he could change direction.
He's got to put it down into the ground, load his legs, and get back the other direction. So you just wait, and used to study base runners for guys that would do that. Do they stay narrow and then go wide, or do they scoot off wide? The guys that scoot off wide and only grow 6-inch leads at a time, they're very hard to get. Guys who take the larger steps off the base are a little easier to get. Right there.
On the 7 pitch, Muncy swings and misses. DeSclafani gets him this time.
Breaking ball.
The home run was on a 2-seam fastball.
DeSclafani's not given up a hit since the back-to-back homers to start the game. Here's Turner, trying to extend an 8-game hitting streak, during which he's hitting .419.
I think the home runs on the 2 fastballs have upped the percentage of the breaking balls that DeSclafani and Posey are going to call tonight. Dodgers right now are 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts against breaking balls.
Fastball there, misses, ball 2. It's really the breaking ball for DeSclafani that has helped him turn things around. Sub-3 ERA this year after he had an ERA north of 7 last year in Cincinnati. He dealt with a back issue. Wasn't totally healthy. It's been an issue throughout his career. Different injuries. Missing a couple of years with an elbow issue. His 2-0 is a strike, 2-1. Seventh year in the big leagues for the former Florida Gator. Originally from Freehold, New Jersey. Pitching with as much confidence as he's pitched with in a long time, in a much more pitcher-friendly park in San Francisco. Ball 3 on Turner. That's about as wide of a swing as you can make, from hitter-friendly to pitcher-friendly, going from Cincinnati to San Francisco.
Sure, that went into Farhan's analysis and the acquisition and the contract. And you can't tell you that when a ball falls on the warning track, how good it feels to a pitcher when he was worried that it was leaving the park.
Second walk of the inning, first and second for the Dodgers with 2 out. Can't hurt the recruitment business either, right? You're trying to sell a free agent on coming there.
Definitely when it's going to be a one-year bargain contract, because then the pitcher is saying, well, I'll go there, I'll have a really good year,
and then I'll get a contract.
Two on, 2 out. Cody Bellinger struck out his first time. Has homered in back-to-back games. That's his second. Turner at first. First one from DeSclafani is a little bit low, ball 1.
You know, we talk about the one-run games of the Dodgers not as dominant, the extra inning games 1 and 7, and we say, okay, they're going to get better at those, especially when they get healthy, right? Well, you don't think this guy's not worth a run, and Seager's not worth a run when they're back, and they're alternating who's hot that day? It's a different lineup.
Well, if those guys are all doing what they can do, then you're going to have fewer one-run games to deal with.
Exactly, and you're going to, you know, and then Mookie Betts comes around to his level. Justin Turner's having an outstanding year, so's Taylor. Will Smith's having a good, solid year. Hitting for power more lately, but he can come up to another level that we've seen. Max Muncy, ridiculous year.
26th pitch of this inning for DeSclafani is high, ball 2. On 2-1, Bellinger grounds it along first and foul, 2-2.
I think Cody has found a good place in his mind about the rest of this season.
Not really worried about building some MVP type year because he's missed too much time, but really just coming in daily and preparing and trying to figure out ways to help the team win. Less about numbers and more about just what's in front of me today.
Deuce is wild in the third. 2 on, 2 out, and a 2-2 taken low. So the runners who get a head start. The first step of that, first step of him helping the team win, is just being available. It's been such a stop and start season for him.
Well, I think just watching them take that slider down right there. I mean, if he was into, I've got to accumulate numbers quick, and in this situation with 2 out and first and second, he's going to be anxious to swing the bat. He looks like, to me, he's patient enough to pass the baton.
Playing in just his 22nd game of the year tonight. There they go. Here it comes. Bellinger slices a pop fly into left for Alex Dickerson. And that'll do it for the Dodgers in the third. Unable to take advantage of a pair of walks, and it stays 2-1.
Hansen is mic'd up for his pregame warm-up routine before the Dodgers take on the Cubs. And then former Dodger Jock Peterson receives his 2020 World Series ring. Don't miss Backstage Dodgers this Friday, presented by Cadillac.
Hard to beat it. And the buzz is back. Full park is back to go along with that backdrop. Dodgers 2, Giants 1. Top of the fourth, Wilmer Flores taking ball one from Trevor Bauer. Flores, who singled his first time, takes a strike. It's 1-1. Wilmer's one of 4 boys in his family, and he's one of 3 named Wilmer.
Okay.
The brothers are Ronnie, Wilmer, Wilmer, and Wilmer. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, 1-2.
Is there a punchline to this story?
Their dad's Wilmer as well.
There's 4 Wilmers. Who comes running?
They went by their nicknames. This Wilmer was Catire, Spanish word for fair-skinned and blonde-haired, which he was as a baby. The littlest one went by Chiquito. And patacon, popular food in Venezuela, made from fried bananas. That was the other brother. And he says that one's hard to explain. He's not sure exactly how.
I bet you he liked that food. He ate so much of it that, you know.
That'd be an easy enough explanation for it, yeah. Wilmer's brother, Wilmer, takes a ball, 3-2. 29 years old in his 9th major league season, 6 years with the Mets. 1 year with the Diamondbacks, and the 2nd year of his deal with the Giants. It's the first multi-year deal that Farhan Zaidi did. Ground ball, base hit, and he's 2 for 2.
Coming into this last 14 games, hitting .333, starting to heat up. Some home runs in that run also, and now here tonight 2 for 2, so he's officially hot.
Fit for a postcard. Steven Duggar. First pitch cutter is fouled. Bauer's 0-1 pitch. Curve for a strike, 0-2.
Well, you're not only in a safe zone in the 0-2 count if you're Trevor Bauer, but you're by the 2nd pitch to Duggar. First 2 pitches, he hits over 500 against you. So deeper in the count you go to this guy, the more success you can have, and especially when you get ahead like this.
0-2 pitch, and in the hands with the cutter to induce a weak pop-up. Kevin Lux for out number 1. And you touched on it. That is a pitch that has kind of made a comeback for Trevor Bauer lately. And we showed his usage overall this year when you put it all together. But it's ebbed and flowed, and he's changed as the year has gone on. Been a few different iterations of him. Here's Solano.
We know how much he evaluates himself in the measurements of his body, but I'm sure he's evaluating also what each pitch is doing coming into the side work, coming into the outing, and warming up.
Line drive to right. Betts charges on, plays it on a bounce. Solano's been on both times, walking now a single.
Fastball down and away, outer half. He does a nice job hitting that.
Almost stayed in the air long enough for Mookie.
Now a likely bunt situation here for the pitcher DeSclafani, with Lamont Wade on deck.
You get the right bunt, you can turn it into a double play if it's firm enough and right at somebody.
Swings away, strike one.
It took them a while to get through the signs, and then when they went through the signs the first time, saw Ron Wotus, their third base coach, wipe it off at the very end. I think after Gabe Kapler saw how far Muncy is pinching in, he thought, take a shot.
He's still pinching way in as DeSclafani squares this time.
Well, if it was a set pickoff at second, you can do all the crashing you want from the corners because the ball's not going home. And I don't know if it was or not, but it gives me a little bit of thought that that's what was going on. But he is still coming.
Got to be fearless.
You better have a mouth guard.
Strike two.
You like high fastball around the letters, or you like breaking ball off the edge of the plate. The high fastball might get the hard bunt or the pop-up strikeout. The slider away could get a real weak bunt right in front of home plate, and you get a double play with your catcher.
Puts this one down to Muncy, goes to third. They get the lead man. Max Muncy continues to be aggressive, charges in and plays that one, and they get the runner at third.
Really well done by Max Muncy. A lot of guys look like they're going to charge, and they look like they're going to have some bravado, but not many are that aggressive. That Max was moving as the ball was in the air from the mound to the plate. He got some momentum to get into this one. I don't know what happened down at third with Justin. A little bit of off balance. He might have had a shot at first if he could have got a little better rhythm.
2 on, 2 out, and Lamont Wade Jr., whose home run is accounted for the Giants scoring. Played in 42 games for the Twins over the last 2 seasons, and then the Giants got him in a trade this February. Farhan Zaidi and the organization was intrigued by his plate discipline throughout his minor league career. It's a heck of a pick by Smith. Had more walks than strikeouts throughout his minor league career, but never hit for power like he's hitting for now. He's given a lot of credit to the hitting staff that we've touched on a couple times. Helped to make some tweaks to his swing and to his intent to swing for a little more damage. Some surprising pop. 6 home runs in 30 games at the big league level. On a 1-0 pitch, a curve lands, and it's 1-1.
I love the fact with Trevor Bauer now is trying to mix in the changeup and the curveball a little bit more. That change of speed's differential from his fastball will really bring back some of that dominance that he experienced from start 2 through about 12.
When we talk about his evolution, from one guy to the next, even throughout this year, that curveball is a pitch that had taken a back seat lately. He's in it a bunch tonight. His 1-1 goes back to it. Ball 2. His design, his new pitches, and always tweaking. But the curveball, that's the one that has remained mostly the same throughout his pitching life. Started throwing that pitch when he was 10. Had a slight grip tweak early on in his big league career, but Pretty much the same one. A 2-1. Outside corner, 2-2.
The fans see the 2 strikes. They've got the runners in scoring position. Trevor shut him down 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position so far. The fans looking for one more out.
Here he comes. Comes back to get him. A devilish 2-seamer for strike 3.
Comebacker to the lefty, and boy, did it come back. And it puts him back in the dugout. Run the Bases post-game event on Sunday, July 11th, when the Dodgers take on the Diamondbacks. Kids Run the Bases gives children ages 5 to 14 a chance to run the bases after most Sunday games. For more information and to get your tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
2-1 Dodgers to the bottom of the 4th. Back-to-back home runs to start the game against Anthony DeSclafani, but he's not given up a hit since. Will Smith to lead it off. Grounded out his first time on the first pitch that he saw. One ball, no strikes. That's in there, 1-1. Off speed, 1-2. Fly ball to deep left field. Back towards the wall. Will Smith leaves the yard. Third solo home run tonight for the Dodgers. They lead it 3-1.
He gets a slider. DeSclafani is almost throwing 50% sliders. I think that's because the home runs earlier were on 2 fastballs. But this slider Will Smith gets. And boy, we talked about his power lately. And his power has come off of right-handers. He's killed right-handers this year. Just hasn't hit the lefties, but he got that one.
10th one this season. And in a big league career that now spans 156 games, he's almost reached a full season. 33 home runs. Strike 1 on Chris Taylor. That continues to be the fact that he's only played 156 games in the big leagues regular season. It's like, wait a minute, there's no way that's right. But yeah, 54 games as a rookie.
That's Mike Piazza territory.
37 games last year. Yeah, this is game number 65 this season for him. So he's already played 11 more games this year than in any other big league season that he's had. One and two on Taylor. And Will Smith very early, very quickly when he got called up, looked like he'd been here longer than he had. It's one of the things they've loved about him. 2-2. But they brought him up before he made his big league debut. He came up and spent September in the postseason with the team when he was still a prospect, just to be around the pitcher and catcher meetings, pregame meetings, part of the game planning. And so when he finally got here, he kind of already had been as a fly on the wall, more or less.
Catchers have so much responsibility, and you think about the transition of a minor leaguer to becoming a major leaguer and close to an everyday player right away. You know, huge shifts in responsibility and studying and relationships.
Taylor went around, 1 out.
That's what's so important about the September call-up program, and also the way the Dodgers treat the youngsters in spring training and keep them in camp for a long time and build the relationships with the training staff, the coaching staff, their future teammates.
Bases empty, 1 gone. The hitter's Gavin Lux. He swats one the other way. That will get down for a base hit. Lux hustling out of the box. Throws on the brakes. As Dickerson hurries it back in. And Lux, after an 0 for 19 slide, he went hitless for a week. Has a hit in back-to-back games.
He did a nice job going the opposite way in his first at bat, but grounded out to short. But right there, again, attacking the shift the opposite way.
First non-home run hit of the game for the Dodgers. And it brings up A.J. Pollock. One. Runaway beach ball. Beach ball delay.
Cardboard cutouts never brought him. It's great to have people back. Now they're trying to start the wave down the left field side.
Clayton Kershaw talked about it after the game last night. And he just said, man, I missed it so much. Talked about how he's feeding off having a full house again. Boy, he was good, wasn't he? 8 innings, 13 strikeouts, most he's had in a game since 2017.
Yeah, the slider had so much bite. It was just disappearing.
Lux at first, 1 gone, and they'll check on him. Two and 2 on Pollock. And between the slider and the curveball last night, all 13 of those strikeouts came on breaking balls. And 13 strikeouts on breaking balls, the most by any pitcher in a game this year. And his 14th big league season. And he just keeps on doing it.
Yeah, he's a marvel to watch, you know. Of course, the velocity has come down, but the tools have not regressed.
On a 2-2 pitch, A.J. Pollock swings and misses at a high fastball for out number 2. 6th K for DeSclafani.
He's thrown this riding fastball up there a few times. Even guys that can turn fastballs around, but he's got them in good spots.
Bauer was one of those strikeout victims. Line to first and caught by Wade. That does it for the Dodgers in the fourth. They add a run on a leadoff homer from Will Smith. This break in the action is brought to you by Ford and the fully electric F-150 Lightning. Let's take a look at it. Company built Ford proud. As we welcome you back to Dodger Stadium, 3-1, LA in front of the Giants. On 3 solo home runs, Betts, Muncy, and Smith all going deep so far tonight. Giants home run came in a home run from Lamont Wade against Trevor Bauer.
Well, Trevor's given up 6 hits, but the most important thing is that they are 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. So he has nailed down some outs when he's needed them. They've scratched around other than the long ball. The Posey double was a beautiful hit, but other than that, just some singles.
2, 3, and 4 coming up against him here in the 5th. As the Dodgers look for their 4th consecutive win. Try to cut the deficit in the division to 2.5. Here we are, almost the halfway point of the season. The Giants still with the best record in baseball. The first month, huge surprise. 2 months in, even bigger surprise. And you're starting to think, well, wait, maybe it's real? Halfway into the season, you've got to believe it's a good team by now.
Yeah, I think you really do. There's been enough water under the bridge. Gabe Kapler in his 2nd year as manager. And they think they're for real, and I think the league now believes they're for real.
First team in baseball to reach 50 wins. 4 consecutive years missing the postseason for the Giants. Go back to the loss in the division series to the Cubs in 2016. Not just 4 straight years missing the postseason, but 4 straight losing seasons. You know, Gabe Kapler in his 2nd year, along with Farhan Zaidi. A roaring start, a roaring first half. Mike Yastrzemski to lead off this 5th.
It's really interesting to think about what's the biggest surprise on their team. And I don't mean individuals, even just categories like bullpen or starters or aging players that come back with great production.
What do you think? If you got to vote, I go with the starting pitchers.
It was a big jump. It's been a big jump in earned run average. The other one I was thinking about was the aging players because of their ballpark, and then toss it over to the starting pitchers like you say, and you're bringing guys in that are getting into a really good pitcher's park. They've improved in all the categories. You know, they've improved in the bullpen, they've improved in the starting rotation tremendously, and they've improved with the veteran players all of a sudden finding it. And finding it all together. Longoria, Posey,
Belt, Crawford.
Yeah, Crawford's power. Holy smokes.
The whole team's power.
Right.
I mean, this has been a team starving for home run power in recent seasons, now leading the majors. You know what the other thing is, Joel, is they've been bad defensively the last couple of years. They're the #1 defensive team in baseball. A 1-2 pitch. And a strikeout on a high fastball to open this 5th. Both sides have had their issues with the veteran umpire Angel Hernandez in his 28th season.
Buster Posey on a slider away was questioning it, and right there, Yastrzemski questioning the height of that pitch.
That was strikeout number 6 tonight for Bauer. 4 more of those, and everybody gets a free Jumbo Jack. The purchase of a large drink tomorrow. Posey doubled his last time, takes one here upstairs, ball 1.
I think they're going to give away a lot of Jumbo Jacks tomorrow. He's got good strikeout stuff tonight.
And that is something the Giants, even though they are very good offensively, do. They do strike out a fair amount. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's got the right umpire, too.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going to get to know your umpires, you got to know the guys that are a little more liberal, and you got to know the guys that are tight. And then on the guys that are tight, you got to know what side of the plate they're at least semi-liberal.
Little jam shot into center. Bellinger makes a running catch. Covers a mile in the blink of an eye.
Well, when he's out, Mookie Betts is in center. So guess what that does to the Dodger range? That depletes it. But now that he's back and Mookie's the guy that goes to right, he gets off. This is a very tough one to read, and you need all the speed. You can see he goes sideways for about 2.5 steps and then breaks in, because that full swing jam shot, you have to react to it on just trajectory and then read the velocity. And he read it perfectly.
2 up, 2 down in the 5th. Alex Dickerson, strike 1. And the trickle down from that, not just having Bellinger covering all that range, but having Betts be able to play his natural position in right. Having Chris Taylor freed up to play more infield, which is his natural place. Because while the Giants have been way better than everybody thought they'd be defensively, and way better than they've been defensively, Dodgers have not been as good defensively as in recent seasons. On the hands, popped down the infield. Will Smith with an 11-pitch inning finished off for Trevor Bauer. The Dodgers up 3-1. And the top of the order coming up. Top of the order that's been very productive tonight. Betts and Muncy both with home runs. What do they have for you in the bottom of the 5th? Back in a moment. Dodgers 3, Giants 1 to the bottom of the 5th inning. Top of the order against Anthony DeSclafani. Strike 1 on Betts, who has one of the 3 home runs for the Dodgers tonight, which is already matched a career high allowed by DeSclafani. 5 of the 11 that he's allowed this year have come against the Dodgers.
He must have nightmares when he hears it's time for Dodger baseball. No.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Coming off 7 shutout innings against the Angels last week. 4 starts in June. He's won them all and had given up 3 runs in 27 innings in that time. His 1-2 to Mookie Betts is high for ball 2. Said that he's had to remind himself, especially coming off of that 10-run game, giving up 10 runs to the Dodgers, that he's the same guy that had been really good all season up to that point. And he's the same guy that's been really good since. Not overreact to 1 bad outing. Betts drives the ball to the gap in right center. Duggar can't get it. Betts on his way to second, and he holds up with a long single. Mookie's been on all 3 times tonight.
Well, advantage Dodgers, not only with the hit from Mookie Betts putting it in play, but Cody Bellinger's played the last inning, and now their center fielder gets an attempt at a tough one. Bellinger makes his catch. Duggar struggles with this one. The spin kind of got him, and the route, he was kind of looping over to it when he probably should have been a little bit more direct.
Kind of swervy.
Yep, just missed it.
First multi-hit game for Betts in 2 weeks. A strike on Muncy. Home run in the first, is second against DeSclafani this year. 6th against the Giants this year. '30-year-old from Texas. Max Muncy, one of the 5 finalists in All-Star voting for the Dodgers. It would be his second trip. Two and one.
Earlier we mentioned the Dodgers' struggles in tight games, especially one-run games and extra innings, 1 and 7. Well, this is a really good inning to start to spread that out, to take that 2-run lead and start to spread it out. The top of the lineup coming right through the heart of the order with a good start from Betts.
On a 2-1, Muncy with a wicked rip. 2-2. He's had some swings tonight that if you weren't already convinced that he's over his oblique injury, you got to be now.
He was going dead red and got a bender.
Muncy this year 305 against fastballs, but just 185 against, as you put it, benders. See what he gets on 2-2. Another fastball or a changeup. That's fly to left. Dickerson with enough room to put Muncy away.
I don't know if it was changeup or backdoor slider. It was an odd look coming out of his hand. It was a hard eye test pitch.
What do the computers say?
Yeah.
Computer says.
Quick look at it right here. Oh, just the humping it like that tells me slider.
Slider, yeah. The yellow line helped.
Yeah. I don't want to go back to the old hockey puck days where they had the glow behind it.
That?
No, we don't need that live action.
Can you imagine that on every pitch?
No, thank you.
That'd be awful. Turner. Strike one. The Dodgers riding the long ball in this game. They've had issues once they've gotten men on base. It was something that bit them during the losing streak. They hit just 119 with men on base during the 4-game skid. Above 300 during this 3-game winning streak.
Sometimes the boomer bust offense, it's about missing pitches in the middle of the plate consistently so that you don't string those hits together. But every once in a while you hit one and you get the home run. All fastballs to Justin right here, a little different look than the rest of the lineup where he's thrown a lot of those sliders. Justin, a very good breaking ball hitter and a good 2-strike hitter.
That's it, first one gone, and a 1-2 pitch. And the dirt, ball 2.
Ball 2 and a wave.
It's a strong wave.
It sure is. It is really cool when everybody participates.
Look out. Guy didn't see it coming. It's soaked. On a 2-2. Turner hits it on the ground to third. Flores to second, one. Solano to first, a double play. Through with 5 innings in Los Angeles. The Dodgers on 3 home runs lead at 3-1. Inside the box score brought to you by Kona Brewing Company. Trevor Bauer over 5 innings has given up just the solo home run. He's struck out 6. He's walked 1. And he's scattered those 6 hits. Been able to pitch out of some traffic, as he's so often done this year. Trevor's ready to go, and frustrated that Brandon Crawford's not.
Forget the pitch clock. Let's get the batter clock. He's playing a little cat and mouse now. He was out there waiting and making Brandon wait.
Crawford 0 for 2. Drives the first pitch of the inning a mile into the sky to straightaway center for number 17. And on 5 solo home runs, the score is 3-2.
Interesting cat and mouse, and then all of a sudden Brandon says, I'm ready now. And Trevor's ready. Got a fastball away. The Giants are 4 for 4 on Trevor's fastball. Everything else they're 3 for 18, 6 Ks, but they're hitting the heater.
How do you explain that? I mean, they were 1 for 17 against his fastballs back in May. Strike 1 on Wilmer Flores.
Almost coming in maybe looking for it, or just when they get it they've seen it, but they haven't seen all the breaking stuff because he was able to live with the fastball last time.
Oh, 0-2. He's thrown fastball at a lower rate than any other time this year, but when he's thrown it, they've attacked it. One-run game in the 6th. Bauer to Flores with an 0-2. He hooks one in the air to left center field. On the move is Pollock at the track, at the wall. It's off the wall, and Flores has extra bases.
Ball had a lot more carry than I thought, and I think A.J. Pollock thought too. It's a slider, and he's out there off balance, but still keeps 2 hands on the bat and makes solid contact. And look at that little bit of route change by A.J. Pollock at the end. He thought he was going to get to it and catch it on the warning track, and the ball took off on him at the end.
Tying run in scoring position. Steven Duggar at the plate. This one's starting to feel like it's living up to the hype. The top 2 teams in the National League, the Dodgers and the Giants. First pitch curve, strike 1. Victor Gonzalez warming. There's always hype when these teams get together, even if one of them's at the top of the standings, one of them's at the bottom. It always means a little something more. When you look at the records, see 50-27 for the Giants, 47-31 for the Dodgers. The context of what's happened so far this year, all Dodgers, then all Giants, with a huge swing in momentum in the middle there. And engage in another tight one tonight. Change up, caught the corner, 0-2.
They're always intense, emotional games because of the rivalry, but when they are 1-2 in the standings and then 1-2 in Major League Baseball, it really takes it up a notch.
Broke his bat. Teardrop left side. That is a foul ball.
Neither one really committed to it at the end because they didn't want a collision. Justin Turner didn't want to hurt his pitcher, and Trevor Bauer backed off thinking maybe Justin was closer. But nobody knew that they could get it and could call it.
Nobody knows.
The trouble I was almost in.
0-2 on Duggar. In a 3-2 game here in the 6th. Giants have been a really good team late in games this year. Here in the 6th, they trail by 1 as an 0-2 comes home to Duggar. Got him swinging. Good breaking pitch for his 7K and the first out of the 6th.
Boy, the key is the swing and miss, too, because if he pulls this ball to the right side, you move the runner over. But he throws the curveball, throws it short and off speed, and gets him.
Donovan Solano, who's reached both times tonight and has started to look a little more like the Donovan Solano the Giants saw his first 2 years with him. He's a 140 hitter against breaking balls. And that's what he gets on the first pitch for ball 1. Same pitch, but this time he went after it. Most aggressive of the Giants. This is a very selective team. It's what they've become over the last year and a half. But him and Mauricio Dubon are probably the 2 freest swingers of the group.
Maybe you can get the chase. And Angel Hernandez giving him a little time because he tweaked his wrist on that last swing. He's ahead in the count. We mentioned in the last at bat he's a much better hitter because the chase kind of goes out the window. The aggressiveness now is the pitcher is trying to throw him a strike, so to walk him off the plate.
He's ahead now, 2-1. Donovan Solano signed his first pro contract in 2005. He's in his 17th year as a pro ball player. Finding a home in San Francisco. He signed a minor league deal before 2019. Now in his 3rd season with the club. Watches a fastball miss, ball 3. Parts of 4 years with the Marlins. He spent a handful of games with the Yankees. Spent a year in the Dodger organization. AAA Oklahoma City. It was part of a 2-year run where he didn't play in the majors. 2017 and 18 exclusively in the minors. One of the highest averages in the big league since coming back up in 19. Tying run at second. 1 gone, 6th inning. 3-1 from Trevor Bauer. Swing and a miss. 3-2.
Behind in the count, that's about as close as you can get to trying walking somebody off the plate. Make it a perfect pitch.
Darren Ruff in the on-deck circle in the pitcher's spot. And Harleen Garcia warming. Bauer home with a payoff. Very clear where he thinks the hole is in Donovan Solano's swing. Slider after slider to the outer part.
He's had a lot of confidence in his curveball here tonight too, so maybe teaching him that he's going to throw him the slider, maybe throw him something a little different.
His payoff pitch. Goes with the fastball. It backs up Turner. Backhand stab. He gets him.
I just think that's such a pretty play when the third baseman backs up like that, and then you watch him bounce it over there like the shortstops do from the hole. And just make it so easy for your first baseman, Max Muncy, to just not even a pick, just very routine, back up, throws it on the grass on purpose, skids it over there.
As Mark Pryor brings out a scouting report for Darren Ruff, a word from Morongo.
Good times are calling all the time. Morongo is calling. Good times.
Ruff, who is a lefty killer, getting a chance here to pinch hit against the righty Bauer. 4 for 12 in 5 games since returning from a month-long stay on the injured list with a hamstring injury. Overall, it's been a very good season for Ruff. Another former Dodger, sort of. Spent spring training with him. He's got the tying run at second and 2 gone here in the 6th. On Bauer's first pitch, Ruff takes high for ball 1.
Since coming back from the IL, the on-base percentage close to 500 because of the walks and the hits. So even though you're right-handed out there on the mound, you got to respect this pinch hitter.
One ball, 1 strike.
I'm going to ice my elbow for Trevor, as many sliders as he's throwing.
Yeah, normally you get to this point and you'd say 95 pitches, you're going to be icing your arm regardless of what you're throwing pretty soon, but not with Trevor Bauer. Remember when he faced these Giants in May, he threw 126 pitches. It's the most by any pitcher in a game this year. Pitch number 96 tonight is strike 2. Taking advantage of the wide zone from Angel Hernandez.
The wider the better when you're in a jam.
Tying run at second, 2 gone, 1-2. Fouls off a fastball that was at the shoe tops. Got out of a jam in the 4th. Striking out Lamont Wade. Got out of a jam in the 3rd. Striking out Alex Dickerson. Remember, after the leadoff home run from Crawford, Flores doubled, so he was at second with nobody out. But he strikes out Duggar. He gets Solano to ground out. And a header off 1-2. Bauer comes home and strikes him out, getting to chase the slider.
Of the All-Star voting. So there are 5 finalists for the Dodgers players who have made it into the second phase. So if you're here at Dodger Stadium, make sure you come by Left Field Pavilion. You can come to by right here, and you can vote here at the kiosk, or if you're at home, visit Dodgers.com/All-Star. For right now, every 24 hours, you get 1 vote. But if you do want a bonus vote, Google MLB All-Star to get that second vote, and time to get these boys in blue back out there to Colorado for the All-Star game.
All right, Houston, and the 5 finalists are Muncy at first, Lux in second, Turner at third, and Betts and Taylor as outfielders. Goes until 2 o'clock Eastern on Thursday. They're in a 3-2 game. Cody Bellinger to the plate to lead off the 6 as they get into the Giants bullpen. Night is finished for Anthony DeSclafani. We saw Harlan Garcia warming last inning, and he's in the game now.
Last 3 outings he's given up a run, so he's in a little bit of a skid trying to get it back on track.
Strike 1 on Bellinger. Try to get that first one. Bellinger tonight is 0 for 2. Coming off back-to-back games with a home run. Floats in a changeup. No balls, 2 strikes. Garcia gave up just 1 run in 19 innings last year. But then in April, he had an ERA above 8 this year. You mentioned the last few games he's given up runs, but he had a run there in May and early June where he's been fantastic. Spins one away, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, you might see another one of those. He throws the fastball, the slider, and the changeup. That was a pretty good slider right there. Looked like they're trying to attack him up with the fastball and then soft away.
Bellinger's seen each of those 3 offerings over the first 3 pitches here. And he gets into the changeup this time, fouls it off. Another 1-2. Strike 3 with a fastball.
Belly's going to really take off when he starts hitting lefties again. He's hitting only 150 against lefties, so most of his year so far when he's been in there has been built against the righties.
Will Smith, whose home run right now is the difference in this game. That is ball 1. Betts and Muncy went back-to-back to start the game, and then Smith hit 1 in the 4th. Number 10 of the year for him. On this 1-0, Smith takes ball 2.
I couldn't tell if Garcia was talking to himself or he was just chewing on some gum. His mouth was moving fast. Like, is he upset?
Fly to center field for Duggar. Smith is out number 2. Harlan Garcia, who made his debut with the Miami Marlins in 2017. Harlan the Marlin. Harlan the Giant just doesn't. I think it's still kind of cool, but it's not Harlan the Marlin.
It's Garcia the Giant.
Yeah, with the alliteration there.
Close enough.
2 gone. Chris Taylor watches a breaking ball for a strike. Is it still alliteration if it's a different sound, even though it's the same letter?
Probably not.
Probably not. No,
probably not.
No. It's one of those questions you ask, and as it's coming out, you're trying to pull it back in.
Especially to me, the English major.
Yeah. Taylor looking to reach for the first time tonight. Flied out his first time and struck out. Talked today about what an honor it is for him to see his name among the finalists for the All-Star game. His favorite player growing up was Cal Ripken Jr., and he has a memory of Ripken winning an All-Star game MVP. Talked about that today. He's down on strikes here. Garcia with a 1-2-3-6 to the late innings we go in a 3-2 game. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. And by Mercury Insurance. Low rates, big discounts, great insurance. Who's in, who's out, brought to you by In-N-Out. The night is over for Trevor Bauer. They go to Victor Gonzalez. And Bauer goes 6 innings. Give up those 2 solo home runs, 7 hits, and instead of having him face the lineup for the 4th time, they go to the bullpen for the very left-handed heavy top of the lineup.
Victor coming in here, still continuing to work towards the consistency he had last year, but still a very dominant season.
Wade, Yastrzemski, and Posey due up for the Giants. Almost hits Wade with his first pitch. And that has been the difference, the lack of command and at times lack of simply control. Wade thinks that he got hit. Mike Tauchman thinks he got hit. Gabe Kapler thinks he got hit. They're going to see what New York thinks.
I don't know if he felt like it grazed him, or did he feel the wind from the ball going by his arm? You know, it's not a very hard impact because Will Smith catches the ball very easily.
Boy, obviously the shirt ruffles. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, but is it the wind? Is
the wind can't make it do that? I don't think, can it? No, they're going to put him out. That was.
Oh, I'm still going with the wind. No, you're right. The flags are barely moving.
First pitch of the inning hits Lamont Wade, and the tying run is on just like that. It's obviously not a walk, but another example of him not being as dialed into the strike zone as he was as a rookie. He walked 2% of the batters that he saw last year. He's walked 13% this year. Yastrzemski, strike 1. Yastrzemski's 0 for 3 tonight. He's 1 for his last 13. And an 0-1 from Gonzalez. Fouls it off himself. And part of this bumpy season for Yastrzemski has been injury after injury. And Giants fans are saying, not again.
I mean, we're amazed when we see hitters do this to themselves, and then, 30 seconds to 45 seconds later, they're back in the box. But this one, it got him right
there by right where you get shin splints, which is a really painful nerve area. Gabe Kapler sporting the high socks. And that's some pretty loud shoes, too.
Yeah.
For a manager.
Yastrzemski got hit by a pitch on his hand right at the end of spring training, and it was kind of a sign of things to come. He had a couple weeks on the IL with an oblique injury, 10 days at the beginning of June with a thumb, crashed into the wall in Pittsburgh back in May. Didn't have any IL time because of that, but was out of the lineup for a couple days. He's going to grit his teeth and stay in here. So when you see that long list of ailments that he's dealt with, it makes a little more sense why the numbers have dropped off a little bit this year. We got MVP votes last year, top 10 in the league in OPS. Still in just his third big league season. Here comes an 0-2. Gonzalez strikes him out.
The leg wouldn't have hurt so bad if he could have found a way to get a hit, but when you strike out on the very next pitch, that leg is just humming with pain right now. Get a little rush of adrenaline if he'd get something positive going.
One on, one out, a one-run game in the 7th. Posey 1 for 3 with a double. Shot down the line, strike one. Backdoor for strike 2. Oh, 2 pitch. Ball 1.
Buster Posey swinging well. Boy, is he in such great rhythm. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Justin Turner and the rhythm that he has. He's got a pretty good waggle when he's up there, kind of bouncing around in the box, but it's all about just gathering that really good rhythm. He'll have different height leg kicks depending on who he's facing, how he's approaching that situation.
Gerald Dempster Posey III out of Leesburg, Georgia. His dad goes by Demp. As a kid, had been nicknamed Buster, and passed that on to his son. Got him with a tying run at first, representing the go-ahead run. 1 gone in the 7th inning. Another 1-2 from Victor Gonzalez. Rifled into left center field. Posey's second hit tonight. Tying run into scoring position, and the go-ahead run aboard in the 7th.
fielder number 12, Alex Dickerson.
On time with the rhythm, with the leg kick, and on time with the barrel. It's a pretty swing, and it's been effective for a long time.
Dave Roberts sticking with Victor Gonzalez. It's a very left-handed heavy lineup tonight. For the first 5 in the order, left-handed hitters. Here's another one of them, and Alex Dickerson. One ball, no strikes. And the Giants have 9 hits in this game. But they've gone 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. On 1-0, Dickerson watches downstairs, ball 2. Smith popped up thinking about throwing behind Wade.
It's a borderline low pitch, and when your catcher's popping up for a possible pickoff, you pay the price and maybe you don't get the umpire call, but you don't take any of the risk and try and get some reward by holding the ball.
The 2-0, Dickerson fouls it off, 2-1. Wade at second. He was hit by the first pitch of the inning. Posey at first after his single. Gonzalez to Dickerson. The 2-1. Fly ball center field, but no big deal for Bellinger. Drifting into the gap to put it away. 2 gone.
Victor Gonzalez was writing a book about the last 2 years. The first chapter from last year would be Rarely a Runner. This year the chapter would be called Playing in Traffic. His whip last year was .75, .76 is 3/4 of a base runner an inning. Not many got on. But this one, it's kind of like last year we saw him come into other people's jams. This year he kind of creates his own a little bit. He's still having a good year.
Brandon Crawford, who hit the longest home run of his major league career his last time up. 2 on, 2 out, and strike 1. That was against a righty, Trevor Bauer. Crawford now facing the lefty Gonzalez. His OPS against lefties almost 300 points worse than it is against righties. Wade at second. Posey at first. Crawford hits it gently left side. Gonzalez is there. Over to first and the inning. He pitches out of traffic, and we stretch in a 3-2 game. Dodgers 3, Giants 2 to the bottom of the 7th inning, and we welcome it back inside Dodger Stadium and back inside our booth. Joe Davis and Al Hershiser been all about home runs tonight, huh?
It really has. And the Dodgers, when they hit home runs, they are 8-0 this many, 3+. So that's really good. And you know what? It's all about runners in scoring position against the Giants right now. They're 0 for 10. So they're doing a good job under pressure.
This is it's been tense. It's lived up to what you expect when these teams get together, and especially when they're at the top of the standings like they are right now.
Yeah, and it's a lot of fun with the crowd and everybody being back. You know, this is the essence of the Dodger-Giant rivalry with a packed house. So it's been a lot of fun to watch.
This is, we mentioned it earlier, but the highest winning percentage that these teams have had when meeting up since 1962. And that 1962 season, they were tied on the last day. They had to play a three-game tiebreaker to decide the pennant. Lux to lead it off. Slices the first pitch fly ball into left center field for Duggar. He's got it one away. 1962 tiebreaker loss in 3 games is really LA's first taste of the heartbreak that the Dodgers have been known for in Brooklyn. So they just left Garcia on for the left-handed batting Lux. He'll go back out into the bullpen with the righty A.J. Pollock coming up now. Jimmy Sherfy coming on. World champion Dodger baseball on Sportsnet LA is brought to you by Nissan. Things are heating up at the Nissan Summer Sales Event. Find the one online or at your local Nissan store. So Jimmy Sherfy comes into the game. The former Arizona Diamondback in his first season with the Giants. 7 games at the big league level, and he's been sharp.
Been very sharp. He's given up the 1 run. 6 of the 7 outings have been scoreless. And he was really good in AAA before they called him up on June 9th. But yeah, he's starting to become a solid part of this Giant bullpen.
Which has been another piece that has been exceptional, especially lately over this last month plus. Number 2 in the majors with an ERA around 2.5 collectively. The hitter is Pollock. He struck out twice on high fastballs tonight. Pops up the first pitch down the line to right. Wade goes over. And he'll make the catch. You see Mike Tauchman out there. Tauchman has replaced Yastrzemski. He leaves the game after fouling the ball off his shin. 2 outs on 2 pitches here in the 7th. And up comes Matt Beatty to pinch hit out of the 9 spot.
Number 45. Matt Beatty.
That's trying to snap an 0 for 12 slide, looking for his first hit since last Saturday.
You get him up there with runners in scoring position, he's one of the best. But yeah, he's trying to get out of a little slide of his own right now.
Blake Trinan. One ball, 1 strike.
It's like a 2-for-1 sale when the first place team plays the second place team. You got games that are of high value, and you're going to go to your pieces as soon as you can, especially trying to keep this 1-run lead.
Beatty shows bunt and takes a strike with a shift on and a lot of room on the left side. Seen him do that a time or 2. Giving it to him again, but 2 strikes on it. Reaches out and lifts his fly ball to right center field. The call from Duggar and the catch. Dodgers down in order on 6 pitches in the 7th. All 5 runs in this game coming off solo home runs. 3-2 Dodgers to the 8th. Joe Orlin Kirsten as Blake Trinan comes in. And Wilmer Flores comes up. Spins in, strike 1. Torres 3 for 3 tonight. Came in hot, 4 home runs over his last 10 games. It's 4 of his 7 this year. He stayed that way so far this evening. He is 4 for 4.
Baseball player beating the shift, stays inside it and just drives it over there. Big hole, drive a Mack truck through it over there.
Giants have had the leadoff man on in 5 of the 8 innings tonight. Here's Steven Duggar. Duggar tries to bunt it. It's foul and strike 1. That's something Duggar's put a lot of extra work into, his bunting. With his speed, he says he thinks it should be a bigger part of his game. He's always been a good bunter, but he said he wants to be great at it. And something he can go to whenever he needs to. Doesn't hurt to have it as a tool in the toolbox to break a slump. Saw Matt Beatty thinking about maybe doing it last time. This is not one of those cases. The opposite of a slump for Steven Duggar.
I would think throughout baseball, the frustrations of getting beat by a shift as an offensive player would drive you to an off season where you would learn how to bunt and really become good at it. To the point where you force the defense to change, and now those frustrations might go away because they have to spread the defenders out.
Two and two.
Most major league hitters hit under 200 with 2 strikes. I'll bet you if you could get them to bunt with 2 strikes against the shift, that at least 2 out of 10 would end up being hits. So they hit higher than their 2-strike average. Now they wouldn't get the damage, and I'll bet you a lot of them would hit at least get 3 out of 10. But you wouldn't have the damage.
Rarely do you with 2 strikes.
Right, that's true too. You can look at the slug and the 2-strike count also. But it's something that I would definitely go home in a winter if I couldn't bunt, and especially in a situation like this where Blake Trinan and his stuff in a 2-strike count. I know it's now 3 and 2, but boy, I would want to try and figure out a way to, in an off season, to bunt 100 to 150 times a day and figure out how to be a good bunter.
Well, the league average with 2 strikes is 159.
Well, there you go. You only got to get one to 3 down every 10 attempts, and you're doing well.
And you maybe pick your spot, you know, if you're facing a guy you don't see as well.
Right.
You know.
Exactly. And why wouldn't you attempt then a little bit prior to 2 strikes when even if you fouled off now you're still alive? So you're getting 2 shots at getting that hit.
I think a lot of hitters, if they were being honest, the answer to that would be you don't want to look silly if you don't get it done.
Yeah, and the frustration of not getting it down and going back to the dugout is a big deterrent, I think.
That is a walk in the first 2 weeks for the Giants against Trinan.
Subscribe to the Dodgers at Home program to receive the gift box this summer featuring a Hawaiian shirt, World Series replica trophy, championship puzzle, and more. Also, you get access to exclusive digital content and enjoy early access to sales and special events. Visit Dodgers.com/Dodgers at Home and join today.
It's the 6th time the Giants have had multiple runners on base in an inning. Issue's not been getting them on, it's been getting them in. Solano hitting a walk tonight. As Flores is second and Duggar at first. 3-2 Dodgers, 8th inning. Oh, and 1.
Rarely do we see the opposing team or even the Dodgers going to the end of the 4th time around the order, and there's no outs in the 8th.
A significant amount of base runners.
10 hits, 2 walks for the Giants in this game. Both runs coming off home runs, though. 0-2 on Solano. Trinan comes home and a check swing, ball 1.
Just held up.
That is one heavily pine-tarred helmet.
Yep.
And Solano.
Caked on.
Gotta be careful handling that if you're a pitcher. First and second, nobody out. 1-2 pitch. Wow, what a snap by Smith.
That is a huge stop in this game. 3-2, no out. That ball goes to the backstop. Second and third, no out. 1-run lead. Wow. He rescued Blake Trinan right there.
Rescued the team in a 1-run game. Trying to find it. 2-2. I'll do it again.
These are some self-created jams from the Dodgers bullpen. Victor Gonzalez with the hit batter and a single. He gets out of it. Now Blake Trinan with the base hit and the walk. He hasn't begun to fight with no outs yet.
The 15th pitch already. Still looking for that first out. Pitcher's spot due next. Trinan home with another 2-2. Bouncing ball left side. Turner has 1 play, 1 out.
As good as a bunt. Hard sinking fastball that just gets pounded into the ground. It's a lot better than one going to the backstop. Will Smith can be the guy who gets the compliment for that. This one moves them up, but they still get an out.
Well, if Smith doesn't pick that ball in the dirt, this game's tied now. A word from Fix Auto.
Supporting your community means supporting local businesses. Fix Auto Collision Centers are proud to be locally owned and operating.
A visit from Mark Pryor comes as Kirk Casale is announced as the pinch hitter. Casale was hitting 104, and then he went on the injured list with a wrist injury. Since coming back in 8 games, he's hitting 375. The backup catcher for the Giants being sent up there as a pinch hitter with a tying run at third and the go-ahead run at second.
Like Trinan stuff, he can strike a lot of people out and make them look sick, and this is one situation where he is going to be pitching for the strikeout. Infield back, they'll give the tying run at third, but they don't want to give the one at second.
Wow, Will Smith again. saving the day for the Dodgers.
This one is wide. Really nice. And you got to hit it in that webbing like it did, or that ball deflects around the circular padding around the outside of the catcher's glove. It can deflect anywhere.
Playing goalie in this 8th inning. The 1-0. Hard to the plate, strike one. Trinan's 1-1 pitch. Did he go? He did. Strike two.
Cutter to get one strike. It was a good hittable pitch, but it wasn't breaking the way his two-seamer does. So Casale was taken, and then that slider right there. Yeah, you can see how much further that bat went than the last check swing we looked at.
Tying run 90 feet away. Go ahead run in scoring position. One gone 8th inning. 1-2 from Blake Trinan. He struck him out. A chase on a wicked slider. 2 gone in the 8th.
He changes the break on his slider every once in a while. He changed speeds a little bit. The bigger ones like this are a little slower. That one at 87 with a huge left turn.
10th strikeout has the Dodgers an out away from getting out of this jam, and it has everybody with a free jumbo jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. A visit from Will Smith before Lamont Wade hits. Kenley Jansen's been warming. As they have a little team meeting on the mound, a word from Jack in the Box.
With triple the beef, triple the cheese, and triple the bacon. My $6.99 triple bacon cheesy jack combo. Only at Jack in the Box.
The way this inning has gone for Trinan, there's one thing about bringing Kenley in if you wanted to. Probably a lot less wild pitches. And the way Trinan has been kind of scattering with the two-seamer and the slider. And Dave Roberts has Kenley up, I would think, for the bases loaded situation. And he probably even thought about it right here. But that strikeout changed his mind.
Leaves Blake in.
So Lamont Wade, solo home run and a single tonight. Fouls off the first one.
Tried to cut it inside to him, but just kind of left it up with a little bit of movement.
So I guess the plan was going to be the same no matter who the pitcher was. You know, you're probably getting that cutter if Kenley Jansen was coming in. So cut it away for strike one. Trinan's 0-1 pitch. Almost hit him. There's Wade, who just barely got hit his last time with a shirt ruffled. Kai Correa, the bench coach, is going to get on the phone and see if it maybe happened again.
They did get this cutter in.
Yeah, almost got his shirt again.
Almost. The blousing right around his stomach.
Not nearly as much of a whoosh that time.
The last one, the uniform moved backwards. That one, the uniform went up and down.
Game on the line here in the 8th. 1-1 pitch. Taken for a ball. It's 2-1. On deck, the right-handed batting Mike Tauchman.
Cutter slider. Sorry, my fault.
No, it was my fault. You do you.
It'll be interesting what Dave Roberts does with Tauchman on deck. I'm sure they are looking at their sheets. They got them color-coded with numbers. Your reds, your yellows, and your greens on your matchups.
Here's a 2-1. Fly ball, shallow center. Luck says that he's got it, and he does. The Giants are 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position. One-run game to the bottom of the 8th. For Access Sportsnet Dodgers, presented by your Southern California Ford dealers. Jerry working on the golf swing.
John Hartung, the last time he went out, shot 73. Hasn't played since. That was about a month ago, he told me.
It's a good one to go out on.
I would, yeah, 73. I'm out there the next day.
I meant if you're going to hang it up, that's a good one to.
Well, I don't think he's hanging it up. He's hadn't had time to go out.
Dominic Leone. Mookie Betts.
If I was talking to Fernando right then, he would say, so what'd you have on the back nine?
Yeah, right.
You know, he wouldn't let you get away with having 73 on all 18 holes.
A strike on Betts, who's reached all 3 times. He started this game with a homer. He's walked and singled. By the way, that 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position for the Giants, that's the most at-bats without a hit in a National League game this year. Runners in scoring position. Oh-2 from Leone, high and away, ball 1. Giants will have 2, 3, and 4 coming up in the 9th inning against Kenley Jansen, assuming the score stays in this vicinity. It's Tauchman, Posey, and Dickerson.
That's awesome. Mookie Betts, yes, I bowl 300 games and I can juggle with a bat and a ball.
Reminds me of the story of his time at the University of Tennessee camp when he was 10 years old, and he kept hitting pitch after pitch that bounced. Down swinging here for the first out of the 8th. He did it once, and the coach said, no way he can do that again. And so they bounced another, whack, another line drive. Bounced another, whack. And that's where Mookie was headed. They stayed on him after that camp. That's where he was headed if he didn't go to the Red Sox when they drafted him. One gone for Muncy.
That little trick with the ball in the dirt right there, that will live on the blooper reels for the next 50 years. You just never see it.
No. Muncy hit his team-leading 16th home run back in the first inning. Giants out hitting the Dodgers 10-5, but the Dodgers out homering the Giants 3-2. One ball, one strike. Soft bouncing ball right side. Crawford over there to get it. 2 up, 2 down in the 8th. Hey, how good is the pitching matchup for tomorrow? Walker Buehler for the Dodgers, Kevin Gausman for the Giants. Brings in a 1.49 ERA, second only to Jacob deGrom.
2 All-Stars, you would think. We'll see. Gausman for sure. I think Buehler is right on the cusp.
Might be the last chance for Turner to extend his 8-game hitting streak. The Dodgers hope it's his last chance. Strike one from Leone.
DeSclafani at times shied away from the breaking ball with Justin Turner. Leone starts him off with a little slider.
Another 0-2.
That's where hitters with the relievers coming in, they sometimes have to hit off the catcher, knowing that Buster Posey, a veteran, is not going to attack me the same way compared to how does this guy on the mound usually attack me. Well, Buster would be running the equation right here. Slider curveball to start. And that's a slider way away.
Posey gave him the hand motion out there.
So Justin could almost feel that, painting a picture. Going back to the curveball, so he's just alternating the breaking stuff, but definitely wanted the slider off the plate.
Got a chase to end the inning. Dodgers down in order each of the last 3 innings. To the 9th inning we go. Fasten those seatbelts. 3-2 Dodgers and Kenley Jansen coming in. One more game on this homestand. The Giants tomorrow again with Walker Buehler going for LA, Kevin Gausman going for the Giants. Then they hit the road for DC and Miami. 8-game road trip through those 2 cities. Here we go for the 9th inning though of game 1 against the Giants, and Kenley Jansen yet to allow an earned run this month. 6 out of 6 in save opportunities.
He's having a fantastic year. Here's another guy that's right on the edge to being an all-star. The Dodgers are going to continue this run and take over first place. At some time during this season, this man needs to continue to get the job done.
Tauchman, Posey, and Dickerson coming up. In a game where home runs have accounted for all 5 runs, solo home runs have accounted for all 5 runs. Kenley's given up just 1 of them this season. And that has been a thing at times in his career that's been an issue. He's gotten it under control here in 2021. He's gone through some stretches, and more than just stretches, he pretty consistently now has started to look more like the guy the Dodgers could trust in years past. Even if he's doing a little bit differently, that trust level is leaning back towards where it was.
I really believe that. I think there's an ego about him now, and I think the team has developed an ego when he is on the mound.
It even feels different when he comes into the game. The vibe in the stadium. Part of that is that it's full now, but there's a trust brewing again from the fan base. Tauchman to lead things off, then Posey, then Dickerson. One ball, no strikes. Tauchman came on for Mike Yastrzemski after Yastrzemski fouled a ball off his shin. On a 1-0, that's high ball 2. Tauchman at one point last week had a strikeout in 8 consecutive at-bats. Snapped it with a home run. A 2-strike home run.
Oh boy.
In extra innings in Anaheim. He's on the verge of a 6-strikeout game, which would have matched a major league record. And instead of that, hit a bomb. Ahead of Jansen, 2-0 here. Ball 3.
All 3 pitches in the same place, pretty much up and in. They have the good cutting action. The velocity is solid. They're just missing up.
There's a strike, 3-1. Well, the scoreless month of June, it spans 9 games. Last time he gave up a run was the game that Mike Tauchman robbed Albert Pujols of the walk-off home run. Jansen was tagged with the loss back on May 28th. Here's his 3-1 to Talkman. And to center. Bellinger has to play it on a bounce, and it gets by him momentarily. Talkman headed for second. The throw beats him. One gone.
Talkman with 2 reactions. One, take a look at it, and 2, I'm mad at myself for going. They're going to take a look at it.
3-1 cutter gets in on him, full swing jam shot. Cody Bellinger does his best, but this ball's got a lot of spin on it. Watch this kick. He kicks backwards on Cody because of the spin on it. And right about here, Talkman's like, why did I go? What do we got?
Ooh, that's going to be close.
But then you got to look and see, does he come off of the bag at the end as well? He's safe.
I think he's safe. But yeah, is he off the bag? When the thigh goes over the bag, does it elevate? They might go safe, and then the dodge, oh, he comes off the bag.
Right.
He's out. Yep. He's out. That thigh comes up in the air. Safe there initially. Now he's on, but then the thigh comes in the air. Is the hand there? Doesn't look. No, he's out now.
Yep, he's out.
He's out
right there.
Yep, no leg, no hand, no nothing. And you know what? That's when the call was made, too. I think he sees him come off the bag. Lance Barksdale, I think he is waiting, and now he sees it. Yeah.
He's out. One away in the 9th inning. Wow.
The third reaction. Check it. This shouldn't have gone. Oh, I can't believe I'm out.
It's a roller coaster of emotions for Talkman and for everybody. One out in the 9th inning. And Buster Posey coming up in a 1-run game.
And especially a big call with this guy stepping up.
Posey 2 for 4 tonight. Continuing his fantastic season, now hitting .330. First one from Jansen is a slider for a strike. Back-to-back sliders, and it's 0-2.
It's a rarity, but you've got a special hitter up there having a great season, and you got to pull a few tricks out of your back pocket.
Throws a third and strikes him out.
Three in a row might be a first in a lot of years, maybe in his career. But it was a perfect one. Will Smith signaling to bounce it. This is about as low as Kenley has thrown it in that at bat, but it was perfect.
Up to Alex Dickerson. Strike one. Dickerson in his career against Kenley Jansen 0 for 5 with 4 strikeouts. One and one. There are fireworks going off in the distance at Dodger Stadium. A little early, but not that early. The Dodgers have won their 4th in a row. A nail-biter over the Giants tonight, 3-2.
On a night where they got enough runs and the pitching staff played a Houdini act. They escaped all the jams.
Giants go 0 for 13 with runners in scoring position, and so the only way to do it tonight was with homers. Dodgers hit 3 of them, Giants hit 2 of them, and that's the final score. Cody Bellinger with an outfield assist in this 9th inning to help Kenley Jansen get the save. 3-2 the final score. The Dodgers cut the deficit in the division to 2.5. Paul Hershiser, Kirsten Watson, and the rest of our crew. Joe Davis saying so long from Dodger Stadium. Bueller and Gosman tomorrow. We'll talk to you then.